Love, Simon Follows Simon, a closeted gay teen who is struggling to out himself to his friends and family, and at the same time another teenager in his high school has actually come out as gay anonymously online. So he goes through everything, finds the email, and starts emailing him, chatting with him, basically trying to get to know him, get up the courage in order to help him out himself to his friends and family, as well as, to kind of help Simon do it as well. And while he's doing this, while he begins chatting with him and connects with him on a personal level, he also tries to piece together the identity of his friend online to see, who he is. I went into this movie expecting the story to basically try to make me feel bad for Simon's situation because he's gay and stuck in the closet. Because when it comes to a major studio film, because this one was made by 20th Century Fox, or at least distributed by it, usually with these kind of movies, the fact that a character is gay becomes all that matters in their personality and their character. Their character is them being gay, and nothing else matters. But they actually did something in this movie that I didn't see coming. They compare his secret of him being gay to whenever anybody, whether you're straight, gay, bisexual, anything like that, they compare it to whenever someone has ever had to hold back from saying something to those that they care about because they fear the potential change, or maybe they're embarrassed by their little secret. And it's easy to relate to Simon because of the way that his character is written, as well as this really great, just natural feeling performance from Nick Robinson. And the praise doesn't even stop there. Everyone in this movie gives it their all, from Josh Jamal to Jennifer Garner, Catherine Langford from 13 Reasons Why fame, Alexandra Shipp, Tony Hale, the list goes on. And as a personal shout out to Natasha Rothwell, who actually plays the drama teacher in Simon's school. Anytime she's on screen, she owns the audience. She's a true scene stealer. And just getting back to everybody else, everybody feels like a tangible person, or at least people that we ourselves have known throughout our lives or still know to this day. One thing that I really hate about modern teen dramas, especially teen romance movies, is that in order to make us feel more invested, it seems like studios try to talk about Twitter, Facebook, things that we use in our normal lives. They do that consistently in order to keep us invested, which makes no sense. But really, this movie, I was surprised at just how many of the scenes were just everybody talking and hanging out. I mean, we get to see this cast of very quirky characters develop right in front of our eyes, and their scenes are filled to the brim with smart and witty dialogue, to where it doesn't feel jarring just listening to everybody just talk. And because of the way the story, dialogue, and characters are written, when good things happen, you generally feel happy. I mean, I was smiling from ear to ear for quite a bit of the film. And of course, it made the harder moments just that much harder. I actually felt tears come up consistently throughout the movie. And I rarely feel that sort of raw emotion from teen-centered dramas, or drama comedies that aren't John Hughes films, which I'm pretty sure that the writer and the director used as a sort of inspiration for Love, Simon. I really loved Love, Simon, but of course no movie is perfect, or at least truly perfect, unless you're talking about like Princess Bride, but honestly that's still just an opinion of mine. And I did have a couple of issues with the movie, starting with the fact that in the opening montage where Simon talks about, hey, I'm just like you, my family's this way, and my friends are this way. I was watching, and I see him in his house, which is obviously expensive, and his mom and dad are together, and it gave off this sort of vibe of a white picket fence sort of life. And I was just looking at it like, I sure as hell didn't grow up like that. I mean, my parents are still together after almost 40 years. And I did have a sister growing up, so we were mostly a tight-knit family, but not exactly the rich portion. We were definitely middle class. So there was a bit of a disconnect when he said, hey, I'm just like you. I'm like, no, you're not. I also didn't like the way that the film worked around any antagonists to Simon or his friend group. Someone would just do something really shitty, and then they would get a stern talking to, and then it'd be like, yes, we're sorry, and then nothing else happens. It never felt like one of those things where it's like, you know, they're trying to put on an act, but really they're still shitty people. It actually just made it come across as though what really gets people to stop being dicks is you need to talk to them very sternly. And it was just very unrealistic. But in the end, Love, Simon was actually a really good movie, one that deserves a lot of attention. Not just because it's the first major studio film to focus on a gay teenage romance, or the normalcy of the source material and the material in this movie, but also just how well-rounded the film is on an acting, writing, and directing standpoint. And as many of you know, I did used to do this thing where I gave ratings for the movies that I did, you know, like 1 out of 10, or so many out of 5. But I realized it was a little too hard sometimes because I would actually... I always felt like I was either being too nice to a film, giving it too high a rating, or I was being too harsh. So really what I'm going to do from now on is I'll either give a seal of approval, or I'll basically say it's not worth it going to this movie. That's what I'm going to do from now on because it's a little bit easier for me. And for Love, Simon, I definitely give my seal of approval. Go out, watch the movie, and when you're done, come back here. Tell everybody in the comment section down below how you felt about it, and I'll definitely be reading what you guys think about this movie. And with that, I will go ahead and end my review. Thank you so much for coming, hanging out, and hearing my thoughts on this movie and other movies that I've done in the past, or that I will do in the future. If you did enjoy this review, I would really appreciate it if you click the like button down below, and also be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, in order to keep up to date with all my reviews, old, current, and coming in the future. I don't know why I was struggling with that part, but now that I've gotten that part out of the way, all that's left to say is farewell until the next video.